I bring the best life coach in the country that says, let's rebrand this guy. Let's give him a new look, a new feel. And his mom says, no, 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 no.
What's good, YouTube? Welcome back to Grimm. Today's guest on Dr. Phil just needs a little bit of help because he went from making 6 figures in some super nice tech job to basically just living in his home, not doing anything every day and not showering. So his mom's worried about him. She wrote into the Dr. Phil show. She's like, Dr. Phil, you got to help my son get his life back. So hopefully he can do just that. Make sure you keep watching till the very end to see if he can get some help today. But without further ado, let's just get into it and meet this guy's family and see what's been going on with his life, how he went from having everything to almost nothing.
This has gotten to the point where he can't even tie his own shoes.
That's right.
So you got him Velcro shoes.
I did.
That's a little enabling. I got to go with you eating on that one.
So Dr. Phil sides with the daughter here just for a split second because she keeps saying, look, my mom enables the crap out of my brother and that's why he has been so lazy, especially when he didn't have this job. Apparently he, got his degree in this tech field, whatever he's in. I think he's a software developer or something, and was able to get this really nice job. But ever since he got laid off from that for some reason or another, he has been completely complacent and not really able to keep up with his actual life. I actually see a lot of resentment from the sister here. I'm not going to get too into it and show her that much, but she is more of just an annoying accessory on this episode. Clearly this guy is extremely depressed and just is having troubles, dealing with the basic elements of his life because he's just sad. And I think instead his sister is trying to be resentful and like, he's so lazy and my mom does everything for him and I don't get it. Dr. Phil, you gotta make him get a job. Like, that's not what this is about. Let's try and get your brother into a better headspace so that he's not just, sitting around doing nothing except thinking about how bad he doesn't want to be here.
I mean, he sleeps in the same clothes. He wears the same clothes for a month at a time.
I didn't know that until I heard his interview, but yes.
This guy's hygiene has gone out the window, which is usually a pretty good indicator of someone who is not only lazy, but also extremely depressed. It's a combination of the two, and I think the family is getting it confused, or with the mom saying, my son is just so lazy, he has given up on his life, and I just need you to make him less lazy. Like, that is so not what this is about. If someone isn't changing their clothes for 30 days and not leaving their house and just like, I don't care, who cares, nobody cares, clearly that person is severely depressed. Yo, really quick, you guys, there is a large chunk of you that watch my videos that are not subscribed. I really don't know what's up with that, but if you're enjoying the videos and you have a second, drop down below the video and hit subscribe. You might even want to hit that bell as well if you want to stay up to date on my uploads, but I really appreciate it. Anyways, back into the video.
His dog looked depressed. No, seriously, I looked at his dog. His dog was looking at him like, can we please get off the couch?
So, I mean, they're memeing on the guy for some reason, but that really is the core of it. He is not leaving his house and doesn't know what else to do. And his family lives pretty far away. His mom actually has to fly out to see him. And she has, in fact, flown out twice to clean his entire house. And then he just lets it get back to just a really bad state again. And it's like weird. This guy was able to take off and make it out on his own, have an amazing job, buy his own house at a young age, which is quite the accomplishment, at least for our generation. And then he kind of just regressed into this non-adult because of, again, him being extremely sad. But anyways, let's meet this guy and hear about this app that he's working on.
You have an app that has to do with distribution, inventory control, and delivery.
Correct, yeah. It's about 90% done.
And the guy, like I said, is smart. Even though he's laid off, he has been working on this delivery infrastructure app, which sounds like it has the possibility of making him an extremely large amount of money. He says he's like 90% close to being done, and I'm guessing that last 10% is extremely hard for him to accomplish because he's been stuck in this lazy rut where he's more just existing rather than living, if that makes sense.
The most I can do is force myself. I sit down, I open up all the programs and the simulators, and then I stare at it, and something in my mind and body is telling me you really don't want to do this.
And man, I gotta be honest with you guys, I actually really resonate with this dude. It's so weird that you can put in so much effort on something and have this opportunity to do something that you love. Like, I'm sure he actually likes making apps and designing things deep down because he went to school for it and it's made him a lot of money. But when you actually get there and you are depressed, it's hard to just kind of allow yourself to work and actually be interested in something, because even even the things that you once loved to do or that brought you happiness or money and prosperity don't really matter as much, and everything just feels kind of dull. So I totally get where this guy's coming from. He sits down on his computer and he knows he's so close, he's on the brink of making this huge app, but it's probably that last 10% is the hardest step of finalizing it, and he is just unable to do that. Quite sad to see, and I can see why his mom was very worried about him.
Well, I believe I'm able to do anything.
No, you tell yourself, I'm really unable. That's what you say to yourself.
So then Dr. Phil brings up a giant board of just basically a word cloud of different statements that this guy has made about himself. And a lot of his depression is exacerbated by the fact that he is constantly putting himself down, which is a side effect of that, of course. But the longer that he continues to talk about himself in such a negative light, he's gonna keep believing that. And that really is a thing that can keep you trapped in that mindset. And I know it's starting to sound like I'm saying, oh, he just needs to be happy. Just say happy words to yourself, bro. It's not really that. I mean, I know it's much more complex than that, but really, he does need to start being more realistic about things and say, okay, I'm proud of myself. I did this little small step today that got me that much closer to launching this app, or that much closer to getting back onto my feet, or I fixed this at my, dingy house where my screen door is falling off, for example. Like, he could do small things throughout the day and create those big winning moments for himself, and he's gonna really start feeling better for himself. I know it.
We speak at 120 words a minute. We think at 1,250 words a minute. You think that a lot.
And that was actually kind of a cool little fact Dr. Phil just said. I didn't know that. I mean, I think my brain works a little bit overtime. It's almost like, the verse of Rap God is going on in there 24/7. I can't stop thinking. But despite that, I like that saying. And I do think this is something that can resonate with all you guys, especially when we're, trying to be safe, trying to be indoors as much as possible at our home, locked in quarantine, at least in America still. It's easy to kind of get in a rut and think, okay, nothing is happening. I'm just getting worse. Everything that I hate about myself is getting worse. I feel those same feelings too. Allowing yourself to not be surrounded by that cloud of negative emotion and negative thoughts about yourself really does help you get out of that rut, which is the hardest part. And this guy is stuck in a deep, deep hole. His family doesn't really understand it. It even almost seems like Dr. Phil understands it, but does also realize this guy truly is just lazy as well. But yeah, moving on, they bring out Dr. Mike Bayer, who actually offers up some advice to this guy. And it's quite dramatic. Let's hear what he asks him to do.
I'm a strong believer that you got to shake it up to break it up. Change something.
So what are they gonna do to shake it up / break it up for this guy? They ask him to cut his hair because he doesn't wash it like more than once a month, he said himself. He doesn't brush it. It really just kind of sits there. And they're like, dude, you know what? You'd look cooler with shorter hair. Let's style it for you on the show. That'll be a great new start. And as soon as they bring up this idea of cutting his hair, his freaking mom has to chime in and start defending him. And she keeps trying to, baby him and be like, okay, I don't want you to make this decision unless you really want to. To which Dr. Phil has this reaction.
And mom wants to protect him. There's your happy boy.
I don't want to protect his happiness.
There you go.
So as you can tell, Dr. Phil's like, dude, do you want help or not? Leave it to the professionals. I brought the best life coach out here, and you are saying no. What are you doing right now? Allow your son to get help, please.
I'm thrilled and thankful, and oh my gosh, this is a dream come true. That's my kid.
Yeah.
So thankfully, the guy gets a fresh new cut. I like your cut, G. They give him a bit of a makeover, some new shoes, it looks like. He doesn't have those freaking Velcro shoes. He's finally tying his shoelaces, so that is a good sign. Honestly, this was a bit of a wholesome ending. They give this guy a makeover. I've never seen that on the Dr. Phil show, but it takes much more than that, so hopefully with some continued help, this guy can get out of his depressive rut that he is in. Look, it happens, man. The world out here is tough. You just lost your 6-figure job in tech. You're starting to make this app that's extremely stressful. I get it. So I wish this guy the best of luck. And I did really resonate with his story. I hope you guys did too. But that about does it. And as always, I'll see you guys in the next video. Until then, peace out.